हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू द ब्रॉडकास्ट। तो स्वागत है आप सभी का यहाँ पे। अभी देखने वाले हैं दैट इज़ क्वाइट इम्पॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम द बैंक पेंशनर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। सो प्लीज़ मेक श्योर करना दोस्तों, यहाँ पे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर देना दोस्तों फॉर द लेटेस्ट बैंकिंग एंड पेंशन रिलेटेड अपडेट्स के लिए। यू नो दैट वी हैव डिस्कस बैंकिंग एंड पेंशन ऑलमोस्ट ऑन अ डेली बेसिस। मैं कोशिश करता हूँ उसको डिस्कस करूँ सो दैट वी कम टू नो व्हाट इज़ एग्जैक्टली गोइंग ऑन इन द पेंशन इंडस्ट्री। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं फ्रेंड्स with the update that Mr. CN Venugopalan जी September 11 2023 का सर्कुलर लेटर दैट इज़ बीइंग रिटर्न टू द सेक्रेटरी फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस को लिखा गया है रिगार्डिंग द नॉन अपडेटिंग ऑफ पेंशन इन द बैंक्स. And it is a bitter truth that pension in public sector banks has not been updated for the past 3 decades. As a sequel to this, the GM of bank retired 20 years ago is getting a pension lower than that of a clerk retiring now. This happens when the pension regulation of banks mandate that pension shall be updated from time to time. Your predecessors in officers miserably failed to do the right to the bank pensioners. So what the DFS does in the banking industry is nothing but what the British did in our country long back. तो ये लिखा गया है by Mr. सीन वेणुगोपालन जी. Bank employees are people who translate all the financial policies of government of India into the reality. The present corpus of pension fund in banks is about 3,50,000 crores and the annual payout of pension and family pension is less than 25% of the annual growth of pension fund. So all banks can pay 2 to 3 times the present pension to all their pensioners without touching the corpus in the fund. So in spite of the cardinal truth, the DFS is meting out gross injustice to the bank pensioners. तो ये लिखा गया है दोस्तों बाय द DFS बाय द मिस्टर सीन वेणुगोपालन जी. जो कॉप्स है पेंशन फंड का वो 3.5 लाख करोड़ है, वो कि काफ़ी अच्छा है. Regulation 35 of the Bank Pension Regulation 1995 that pension is to be updated in time with the revised scales of pay arising of the by-part settlements, and Regulation 35(1) which stood initially as in respect of employee who retired between 1st day of January 86 but before the 31st day of October 87. Basic pension and additional pension will be updated as per the formula in the Appendix 1 was amended in 2002 and 3 as basic pension and additional pension wherever applicable shall be updated as per the formula that is given in Appendix 1. So the words will be updated in the initial provision was replaced by shall be updated, and further stress was given to the updating by engaging the word wherever applicable shall be updated in the amendment, making it imperative that pension shall be updated simultaneously with the revision in pay scale arising out of by-part settlement for all the pensioners. So irrespective of their date of retirement, if updating of pension was not intended under the BEP at 1995, DFS has to clarify why the Regulation 35(1) mentioned about updating and it was later amended as stated above, and by removing the word in respect of employees who retired between 1st day of January 1986 but before the 31st day of October 1987. So the settled law is that when pension rules are capable of more interpretation that one, the court shall lean to the one favorable to the employees. So यहाँ पे if anyone considers that Regulation 35(1) is not sufficient to allow the updating Regulation 56 with the provision that is residuary pensioners in case of doubt in the matter of application of these regulations, regards may be had to the corresponding provisions of Central Civil Services Rule 1972 or Central Civil Services Rules 1981 applicable for central government employees, with such exceptions and modifications as the bank with the previous sanction of the central government may from time to time determine could be of help to him to affirm that pension is to be operated in tune with the revision in pay scales from time to time as the bank pension employees 1995 is exactly similar to the central civil pension rules except to the extent of exceptions and modifications determined by the bank with the sanction of central government and notified in the Gazette of India. So making any of the provisions of Central Civil Pension Rules 1972 inapplicable to the bank pensioners as stated in this regulation. So far, banks have not determined any exceptions and modifications from Central Civil Services Rule 1972, and accordingly pension is bank is to be updated in accordance with the revised pay scales rising out of the bypass settlement. In the same way, central civil pension rules get updated with the implementation of each pay commission. सो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं फ्रेंड्स, काफ़ी लेंथी लेटर लिखा गया है एंड इम्पॉर्टेंट यहाँ पे नियरली 3 years बैक श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमन जी द हॉनरेबल मिनिस्टर फॉर फाइनेंस had advised IBA at 73rd AGM meet in 2020 that bank pensioners considering the GOMN service they did for the nation while serving the banks shall be granted one rank one pension, treating them as a family members. So यहाँ पे ये बाय श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमन जी की तरफ से So I make a humbly request to you to update the pension of bank employees as mandated by the BPR 1995 at the earliest to make sure that the sinful ways are abandoned by the DFS and justice is done to the bank pensioners for redeeming righteous. So in doing so, your name will get inscribed in the letters of gold in the minds of the bank pensioners running in more than 5 lakh, and those who join the great majority will also be showering their blessings at you from the skies. So it will have the advantage of averting structures against banks. So this is the letter that is being written by the Mr. C. Venugopalan जी, जो कि काफ़ी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं फॉर बैंकिंग पेंशन इंडस्ट्री अपडेशन के लिए. सो काइंडली शेयर कर देना दोस्तों एफर्ट्स को मिस्टर सी एन वेणुगोपालन जी के.